My name is Evan. I go to Fellowship Baptist Church here. I didn't grow up in a Christian home at all. My parents weren't really religious or anything like that. It wasn't a part of my life by any means. In high school, a lot of the same guys that I had grown up with in elementary school from kindergarten, and one of those guys was a Christian. And his home kind of became the hangout spot. His family was always very welcoming. It was always a great spot to go to. Not that we didn't feel safe anywhere else, but it was just, that's where you would go, right? And they were very hospitable to us. And another friend of mine from high school, who was also part of that friend group eventually, he was like hardcore atheist. So now I have this really Christian friend. I have this atheist friend. You could see how their views aren't going to mesh up very well. So they argue back and forth all the time. And then we all go to university and college. And my wife was part of that friend group too, which is kind of cool. She wasn't saved at that point either. I remember a couple times just sitting in my room just thinking about this stuff, trying to make sense of it. And the next thing I know, my atheist friend, he's saved. My future wife, she's saved. A couple other people in this friend group, everyone's starting to believe in the same thing. It's almost like we're on our own journey, but we're kind of on this journey together, which is kind of cool. I remember praying in my room about it and just like, if you are Jesus, if you are real, like if this is a real thing, then I want to be there. I want to know. And that's that step. And that's how I walk through that door. It's hard to explain, but your whole perspective on everything and the way you feel is just like a wave coming over you. And I guess that's why they refer to baptism that way too, and why they baptize you with water, because that's how it feels. It feels like a wave coming down on you. You really see, looking back, how God has guided me, and I couldn't see it at the time, but there was a very clear path, like right from the beginning of elementary school, meeting this kid, a very clear path of where he wanted me to go, and he was the author of my story the whole way. Another cool thing that happened out of that is that I got to be baptized around the age of 20 with my wife, or who would be my future wife. Like, how many people get to say that they were baptized with their wife? Do you know what I mean? Matthew 28:19, go therefore and make disciples of all nations. I think that's what my story is that if I didn't have people going forth and talking about Christ for me, then I wouldn't be where I am today. So I want to do the same thing for others. Well, now I have the opportunity, being a detective with the OPP. Maybe it's because they're in jail, or they're in the back of my car, or whatever it may be, I kind of have them. And if I feel sometimes you just feel guided to say something, and I don't know why, but it's just when you hear that voice that says, you're going to say it, and you say it. And I have that opportunity to brag and to tell them about Christ and what He's done for me, and that I'm no better than them, that we're the same, and that they can help them too. And more often than not, it's a great conversation. And I mean, like, you just fought with this guy, you just arrested this guy, you may have done a gunpoint arrest on this person, and next thing you know, you're having this conversation with them, and it's good. Like, they want to hear it. And I think what I've really learned from my experience, like I said, it's not very exciting, but you don't know what that one talk will do for that person. Because it could be one of 1,000 or one of 100 talks that brings that person to know Christ. And I feel very blessed to be part of that.